Mike. I will post the link in a minute. We're going to talk about Bronze Rage. Despite the rumors, is not going to be the next Rambo film, where he owns a suntan parlor in Seattle that is invaded by rogue Canadian militias. Uh, it's not really it's this is about the raid. We're also going to talk about
Sounds like
countermeasures. We're also going to talk about countermeasures and how they're playing a different role in this raid than what we've seen previously. So let me introduce everybody from top to bottom. Aussie,
Good morning, everybody.
Lady Cat,
hello.
Magic Mike,
Hi there, everyone.
and Jeff slash Kenny,
Hello there.
and Ben.
Hello.
And welcome everybody in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, and Raptor. Hope everything is going well. And maybe I should get the countermeasure thing out of the way first before we start talking about um, the raid in general, because I think this is might get lost. I've also posted a link in the right hand side in case anybody'd like to join. It'll probably be in the purgatory, the green room, or whatnot for a couple minutes as we get going. But Lady Cat, let's go to the first slide. Okay. We all saw the issues associated with the UAVs and the targets at the start of the raid. Some people have adjusted to them, some people haven't. Because it made a lot of sense, and I recommend to a lot of people, and I did it myself. I originally had sprints in the VXP targets and didn't find that they worked that well. I thought the gales worked better, so I refit all over to gales. Subsequently, have gone back to sprints. Um, but this is from something I dug up from a little over a year ago when they uh, made some changes to the countermeasures. And countermeasures a lot of times is used as a generic term to include phalanxes, missile defense system, gales. Those aren't the countermeasures we're talking about. Those are anti-explosive or anti-mortar or anti-missile slash anti-penetrative. So this, as far as PvE, only applies to the sprints, the tridents, and some built-in stuff on your ships. The most infamous was the Zelos built-in countermeasure. So it's a couple things I provided that top section in case anybody wants to read the entire post, where there's more information on this. But I wanted to deal with the stuff that dealt with UAVs specifically. Um, Currently, most countermeasures that target rockets or missile get a single shot at countering that projectile, while countermeasures that target mortars get multiple shots at countering the projectile. UAVs act differently, and they can get targeted by countermeasures until they reach the first target, at which point the UAVs become immune and will move from target to target. I think in this instance, where they appear to be continually targeting the same ship, it appears that once they make first contact, is my assumption, once first contact is made, they are immune to any sort of countermeasures. Um, and then you read down through it, there's a chart and whatnot. Um, Mortars and UAVs will be targeted by countermeasures repeatedly. So, and the missiles and rockets will be targeted by countermeasures once. So, this is different from the anti-missile and the anti-mortars, where it appears whether they tag or don't tag or repeatedly hit something or only hit it once is dependent on the weapon. With countermeasures, it appears to be based on the target itself. Um, which is a little bit of a difference. And I don't know, but it plays into somewhat into what we're seeing. Not completely, but somewhat into what we're seeing already. So let's go to the next slide. All right. I made the assumption, and as a lot of people did, that gale 4s would work better than sprints because of the high salvo, and that it would repeatedly target an incoming projectile. And we're finding that they're hitting about 70% of the incoming projectiles before they make contact. But then it's all over. And with the right special, you're going to get about a 73% accuracy on a gale 4. The sprints have a 70% accuracy as well, and they only have a salvo of 2. So why are they performing better than the gale 4s? They have lower accuracy, and they have less salvos to continually fire at things. My only guess at this point is the combination of range and projectile speed. The UAVs are moving towards you at some projectile speed, and they get fired at one time. And then if they're missed, because you have a 30% chance that it's going to miss, they are going to keep on moving. So the stats on the left that aren't in orange are just what you see on the blueprint. The ones in orange are as equipped on my ship, because I don't know what your ships look like. But if you take a look at this from the perspective of getting a second shot at an incoming UAV, you see the sprint is going to start firing at 105 distance, while the gale is 77. This is in the orange. And then the projectile speed is 1235 as opposed to 760. So we are getting a lot more distance and a lot more speed, because the gale 4 or the sprint isn't going to fire a second time at an individual projectile until the first one misses, and then it's going to fire at the closest incoming UAV. So you can see this difference in range and projectile speed provides more opportunities for the UAVs to be shot down. Okay, why did it work better? This is more speculation, but why did the gale 4 work better in the VXP targets? One more click. They did a little Sharpie action, I think, on the UAVs between what we saw in the VXP target and what we're seeing in these raid targets, and doesn't allow the gale a chance to get a second shot off to take out the UAVs before they become immune when they hit your ship. So
why would they do that to us?
I don't know. Sharpies are popular right now. So any thoughts on or any experiences with?
Well, I didn't have any countermeasures at all on when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put countermeasures on, and it helped a little bit, but it didn't really help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm not happy about the countermeasures or the UAVs. Or we'll talk about the targets later, but yeah, I'm not happy with any of the countermeasures.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Two Doors.
Yo,
Hey, Brian.
I've always had sprints, because I didn't want to make a dedicated CM ship, because from the VXP target there weren't a whole lot of UAVs and they didn't seem to be doing that much damage. But I think I've got 3 or 4 sprints on mine right now, I don't feel like they're doing as much as maybe they should, but I did not allocate a special to them, which is kind of why I chose sprints. You don't necessarily need a special to make them that good, and I wanted to keep all the reload and such. I wasn't sure if they were worth making a special CM ship. Now I think maybe. But another reason I think that we're getting hit by a lot more of these UAVs than we might think is the UAVs are moving towards us, but a lot of the time we're also moving towards those UAVs between the fast inherent speed of the Dragoon and the accelerate feature. And I think it's going to be even more telling when we get the Scoundrel, the suppressory one that gets like a bonus if you go over 300 speed. Yeah, you're going super fast towards them. You won't have time to take a shot or a second shot because you're still moving towards them so fast.
Yeah, and the 502 target has I think it has 3 UAV turrets, 2 or 3 UAV turrets in total. So that could also be an issue. So as opposed to like the 120, anybody want to guesstimate how many UAV turrets are in there? 12, 15?
999,000.
Yes. Yes. 99 in a UAV isn't one. But yeah, in that target, it's doesn't have the density of UAVs that the 120 and the S targets do. So one thing I was thinking, Aussie, have you switched over yet, or are you still? What is your current experience?
Yeah, I've switched over to sprints. It's I think when we first did them, I lost number 5 ship every time. Now it's only taking like 17 minutes damage.
Okay.
On number 5. I did a whole bunch of 122s last night before I went to bed. I think I did 9 in a row. First hit, I could instant repair 1, 2, 3, 4 in the dock, and number 5 had 17 minutes, and pretty much that's how it kept going until I swapped number 5 to another spot because obviously I didn't want it to go down too far. And then progressively each time I moved one into slot 5, obviously I couldn't repair that ship anymore until it came to a point where I couldn't repair any ships. I got down. I didn't want too much damage. I only wanted about 4.5 hours damage, so I did 9 in a row doing it that way. But yeah, no, it has definitely made a big difference. Like I say, originally I lost number 5 ship every time I hit a target. And now 17 minutes damage on it. Sorry. Hang on.
Yeah.
Do you have armor, Aussie?
Yes, they are armored up as well, yeah. They're fully ranked, fully armored. Yeah.
Okay.
But even so, I still lost that number 5 ship in the beginning. So
Yeah, I lost 4 and 5 in the beginning.
yeah.
Yes.
Sprint rock.
Yeah, Serpent Soul. That's what we're seeing, unless you see, somewhere that Kixeye announces that they're going to make some sort of change. But at this point, the sprints appear to be the best way to go. And personally, I'm running a sprint countermeasure ship with a special. I have 5 on one ship. Is everybody else doing something similar?
Yeah, that's what I have. Is the 5 sprint ship.
Okay.
No, but I might just go all out with that and then put an HVR on instead of a siege targeting that is on it right now. I think the most I have on one ship is 2, maybe 3.
I already have HVR on all my ships. What I added was the hydroatomizer. So that's why you see the extension of the range of the sprint from 60 to 105. And the projectile speed's already built in there.
I think this is particularly egregious after they gave us that LTO with Dragoon Belt tokens and Gale blueprints. That seems like it implied that Gales would be good when they're not really the best choice for the raid.
I think somewhere too I saw where they'd offered they had a TLO for a Dragoon, or somewhere I saw their suggested build of what goes with this part was a Gale, not a Sprint.
The one I looked at didn't have any UAVs. I mean, didn't have any antis at all.
I wish they had mentioned it in the strategy guide. They left this part out altogether, and most of us, the reason I didn't have any antis in the beginning was because of the VXP target. Now I know it changes. I just didn't think they were going to be necessary. I was thinking between speed and damage, I could kill them before they would hurt me. But no.
Yeah, and Chuck, that's a good second choice. The Hydra atomizer is limited, and you had to get it in the bat ray thing. It was hard to get. So, Jeff, what is your current anti?
I have now 1, 2, 5 sprints or 3 gale and 3 sprints.
3 gale and 3 sprints. Okay, and then Ben, you have 5, right?
Yes, I have 5 sprints, but I am running the hydro atomizer.
Okay. No, because I was trying. I wasn't sure. And Jeff, you're running the hydro atomizer? What? Probably on the 3. What are you running with your antis?
I'm not running any I thought the sprints were, when I started doing them, were good enough on their own, so I didn't try and improve them.
Should we do what the people love, and you can have you hit the same target, 120, and then Ben hit the 120 with the sprints, if you guys agree to that?
Sure.
I agree.
Okay. Who wants to hit it first?
Hefe,
Yes, Ossie.
to your question before, a 120 has 21 UAVs, a 122 has 9, and a 502 has 5.
Oh, it has 5. Okay.
If I looked at it properly, because I zoomed in and went around them all, and they all look like that's how many they've got.
Okay. Yeah, so the 120 is the one that's what, though I didn't know the exact numbers, but thank you. That's why I chose the 120 as the test bed for the differences in the antis that these two guys have. So, all right. Ben, are you ready? Yeah, I can pop you up if you're ready, and then we'll go to Jeff right afterwards.
I am ready.
Okay.
The Kenny and Benny show.
Yeah.
So we're going to show him how to do it and then not how to do it in order.
Well, he was up first, so you know.
No, this is a.
I know that. All right, I gotta drop. You guys have fun.
Okay.
Brian.
Yeah.
I always have the Jeopardy theme song when I'm loading battle. Final Jeopardy.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, you picked really great.
And it might be helpful for everybody if it's possible for you to go full screen.
How the hell am I half dead already?
Yeah, this isn't working out well. Go ahead and retreat. We're not. Yeah, you're lagging too bad. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. So yeah, let's.
It's lag.
Yeah.
We'll go to the Kenny part.
Yeah.
I think we just had that.
he took a little inspiration from some of your previous performances.
I'll stop screen sharing. I'll repair, and then I'll come back to it.
Okay, I'm just yeah, because you've been able to screen share in the past, so I don't think it's like the issue I have, where everything just goes to crap at that point. Are you screen sharing somewhere, Jeff?
No, I'll do it now.
Okay.
I just getting my crew going. Let's see. Stop, cat. Julie, will you take care of the cat, please? Thank you.
Meow.
He's trying to
Taking care of
save.
it.
He's
I
trying to
think,
save you,
I
Jeff.
think she
He knows what's
would
happening
know
next.
a signal to get.
Don't do it. He's saying, don't do it. Don't do it.
Wow, that's weird.
Oh, I think she's smarter than I gave her credit for. I think she hears the show, knows that I can't afford her to be making a ruckus during the show, so it's blackmail.
All right, everyone's seen my fleet was half dead, right? Or was it just me?
Yeah.
So,
Why is it fixed now?
14 seconds.
Okay, so can everybody see my screen now? Did I share it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what number am I aiming for?
120.
120.
And this time I actually have engines on and stuff on the flag, so he gets to play.
yay.
And he'll get there in less than 2 hours. Almost hit the 400. I hate how they pile them on top of each other, and you can't always.
Meow.
That cat is just really getting insistent. Okay, here we go. I know, but she's. Did you show her the food?
I showed it to her.
And what?
Wants to watch you.
Yeah, that's it. She's warning me. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm very
Well,
curious.
when you finish, if the cat's sitting there shaking its head, you know. Oh, I fucking told ya.
Oh, I should probably put the screen in this mode. Ugh. Easier for everybody to see. This is my first time with the 5 of them, so, well, they're already going a little crazy.
I have the same problem that you did too, Jeff. I kept clicking on the ship and losing my
Yeah, I shouldn't even.
one of them. Yeah.
That's why I now know why I'm in the habit of hitting the up arrow all the time. That's why you hear me click, click, click. I'm always hitting the up arrow to make sure they're all still engaged.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait for flames, I think.
Just,
Go.
just take it down without malice.
Oh man, I can't drink and drive at the same time. Everybody listening is like, why is he going to drink because of malice?
That's our drinking word.
Well, drinking and driving is against the law, and the police will arrest you.
Look at all those bees swarming me. Doing a lot better than last show,
Yeah, you're doing great.
which isn't too hard considering I ran into the flames almost every time last show. Now I don't know how to do this. Do I still just keep moving and avoid the radiation, or look at those bees swarming?
What you should have done while you're in that little alcove is just do circles.
Yeah,
So you keep up your speed,
yeah.
but select them all. Oops. Now you're starting to take some damage.
Yeah, something in this corner right here is doing most of the damage.
Just there is another 4 UAVs. So you got a whole bunch of UAVs shooting at you just there where you are.
And as usual, it's taking most of the crap out of one of the boats. Although they're all taking a lot of damage.
See, what I always do, hang on, what I do when I come down there, I always shift target the UAVs.
Okay.
Because they're the ones, because there's so many turrets around there, they're not going to target the UAVs first. They're going to target everything else, and the UAVs pretty much last. Because there was two right in front of you, just a little bit down a little bit, one each side. You see those 3? There's one each side. The
See this
centre one
though?
isn't one of
That
them.
one's barely scratched. That one's barely scratched. That one's barely scratched. That one's almost dead. And while the flag just doesn't have battery and stuff on it, that's its problem.
Well, you're still getting hit by UAVs from somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
UAV on the left,
Sliding away.
down there. The second one is a UAV.
No. Excuse me.
I beg your pardon?
And then there's 2 more UAVs down the bottom on the left.
if I take out the UAVs quickly,
Well, that's what I always do. That's why I always shift target them.
What's the difference? A shift target and just a target?
Shift
Because-
target keeps your ship going in the same direction, but changes what you're aiming at.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you just hit the target, if you just target the target,
Right.
click on the target, and you're already in range of that,
You'll stop.
your ships will stop.
Well, that's
Where
what
if you
they're
use
supposed
shift,
to
it'll
do.
keep driving past. Yeah.
Just so you know, that target doesn't always work because I got hit by flames trying to do a regular target. And it wouldn't
And then there's
stop.
one more UAV at the bottom of that set.
well, at least I'm going to finish it this time.
Oh, don't speak too soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might jinx myself.
You don't want to curse it.
Okay, any more flames to worry about, or just the UAVs? Oh, there they are.
Up the top there. Now there's 4 UAVs. 2 on that. Oh, actually, you got 5 UAVs. You missed one on the left. There's 2 directly in front of you, and then there's one at the top that you can see, and there's one behind that first silo on the left.
Is it just me, or does sometimes it feel like Kixeye gives that last sliver a little bonus, like it hangs on a little longer than you expect, that last sliver?
Yeah.
No, I never would give Kixeye credit for that.
So you're getting hit probably by
Yeah.
UAVs there.
Yeah, the bees are getting me.
Yeah. So you can see the one on the left at the top there. There's one behind that silo that you can't target until you kill the silo.
Oh, that's nasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry asked, do sprints work better than missile defense system? I skipped the video. I'm not sure if he mentioned that. I haven't tested that personally. If you put the right specials on, the missile defense system gets a 98% accuracy, but we're not sure about the any evade the UAVs have, but they lack the ability to have a second shot, Jerry. So we're not sure.
Okay, so 3% taken on radioactive,
Mm-hmm.
10% on ballistic.
Yeah, and those are the UAVs. So
My ships do that too, Chuck. And I'm assuming it has to do with the speed up of the speed up effect. If you don't come to a complete stop with all your ships.
oops, did we want to show what were you doing, Jeff? Okay, it takes how much? I can't read your.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What's your repair time?
4 minutes. 4.
Um,
What is it? 4 tokens.
There's no information here, so
Or
It's
points.
4
right there.
coins.
Yeah.
4
Okay.
coins.
Okay.
yeah, 6 coins, 2 hours.
Oh, 6 coins.
2 hours 47 minutes. But you know what? At least I know if this fleet was completed, that ship 5 would have been demolished, and probably the flag would have been like these other guys.
Yes.
So it probably would have been an hour damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hopeful for the future. They're not. None of them are upgraded.
I've got a question, Hefe.
All right.
With
Yeah.
because I know that you're doing a counter ship. Now
Mhm.
you're using high velocity rounds, right? Which obviously gives you the projectile speed.
Yeah.
What about subaquatic propellant? Because then that'll give you a bonus in your reload. But obviously it's okay with the high velocity rounds. It's 109% on mine for reload for projectile speed. The
All right, guys.
subaquatic goes down to 25%, but it gives you a countermeasure reload of 50.
You ready for this?
Yeah. I looked at that earlier, and I'm not really sure what the impact is going to be because it has. I can't remember the exact numbers right now, but I think I use the hydroatomizer, which gives you the range and accuracy, or range and reload, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but
but
you still have. Hang on, you still have hydro atomizer nozzle on there as well as.
what are you going to drop?
That's what I say. Take off high
High
velocity rounds, which only really gives you, if you're using it as a main counter ship, only gives you the projectile speed. The projectile speed on mine for that is 109, which if I've used subaquatic would drop it to 25, but the reload is more. The countermeasure reload.
All right. You guys ready for this?
Yeah. Go ahead. I have you.
All right, you can talk while I'm hitting. So
Did I violate the rules of the show? Kenny lived.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Any thoughts then, Jeff, Hefe, or not?
I'm
Really
sorry,
on
there
that?
was some things going on. I don't know as far as because the reload, as I recall, I think it helped you by 0.48 down to like 0.37 as far as your reload went.
Mhm.
I did look at that, but the big issue is I think that we're seeing is, and I'm not sure
Projectile.
how much it helps, is the projectile speed allowing you to get that second shot off.
Yeah.
And I
So
haven't
you're
had.
shooting them down quicker.
Well,
It's getting those first ones quicker. It's hitting them, shooting them down, so it
yeah,
gets a chance to reload anyway.
yeah. And
So
I
if you
don't.
don't shoot them down, you're not going to have the benefit of the extra reload. Isn't going to make any difference, is it? Because the projectiles aren't getting to them quick enough.
Yeah, if that's the case,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. That would be my concern. I don't have an answer because I haven't
Yeah.
I
Okay.
haven't done that. I know a lot of people have talked about using them, but I am not certain. I don't know. Not in the test server to test these things out.
I like that how you did that house, taking that UAV out.
Thank you. I messed up.
Yeah, Chuck is doing CM4. He's doing all of them, and like I said,
Okay. What he's got there isn't going to work. Subaquatic isn't going to work with his CMs.
it works with the hydro. Subaquatic does stack with the hydroatomite.
CM4.
Right now, I don't know. It doesn't stack with CM4.
What's CM4?
Countermeasures 4.
No, because it's not a countermeasure. Oh, hang on. What? Oh no, sorry. What weapon is he using?
Sprint.
Sprints.
Sprints, I assume. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no worries. That's all right. Yeah.
But no, we're not showing you how to do it at this point. I think there's some people that can, walk you through it. We'll do that later. What I was trying to do with this portion of the show is just emphasize to certain people that despite what it looks like, the sprints are advantageous over the gales. So that's more what this is about. It's not a how-to video.
No, it'd be how to do it wrong if it was.
No, you're doing really good. You got some good ideas in there, but I think a lot of people have taken gales off to put on sprints because gales didn't work.
Yeah.
I've seen it on the forums.
Or it didn't work as well as we thought they would. They do work, just not as good as what we thought.
He's making me dizzy.
And
Well,
so that's what I was saying before
he's
about
spinning.
you keep your ship moving, even if you're in one spot. Just keep spinning around, just to keep your speed up the whole time.
And also would help you.
And if you notice,
launchers.
most of my damage is on number 5.
But number 5 is alive.
Yeah.
Only a movie buff would get that reference.
Johnny
Yeah.
5 is alive.
No, that's not the one.
No, that was Short Circuit.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad somebody got it.
Oh, I knew what it was. That's why when he said that, I said, no, that's not what it is.
No.
Yeah. So Derpy's asking, what are the best specials to use with sprints? That's pretty much what we've been discussing. The hydro nozzle is the best one as far as the chief countermeasure one, and that's what me and Aussie were just discussing as far as, do you drop high velocity rounds for the additional projectile speed to get the reload that you see with the subaquatic? And it's all things that it's all things that need to be tested out. But I don't I don't know if we have a. It's more of a question for us at this point.
If you want, I'll show my countermeasure ship build.
Yeah. So this is going to be. Is it instant repair on the base?
No, number 5 will not be.
Mm-hmm.
And you have how many sprints?
5 sprints.
Okay.
And that was a 19-minute 120, 19-minute repair.
Well, I hope Kix is paying attention, and I hope they update the strategy guide for next raid, especially if they decide to change the targets.
Oh, I hate this.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm going to get a beer while I'm loading.
I see.
And I got to go to the store to get it.
I see.
Now, have you tried your countermeasure ship as the 5th ship?
Okay, so you're using Hyper 30. The only thing I have different there, I have. Well, you also have the new engine on that one. I think. I'm trying to remember what I have different because the engine threw me off. You have 5 velocity rounds, the hydro nozzle. What is it?
Ballistic battery.
Oh yeah, ballistic battery. Okay, yeah.
I was waiting for you to come up with that.
Yeah. I consider it such a no-brainer, but
Yeah.
I
I know I lose that sometimes. So I look at the thing and go, what the hell's missing?
I actually just put the ballistic battery on it.
It's not on there.
Ballistic sync drive.
No, but ballistic battery, that's providing. It's a bold move you've gone here with this.
And here's.
That's pretty much exactly what's on mine.
You also have the Hyper 30?
Mine's got 6 sprints.
Here's what my normal Dragoons are built like.
Okay, and they all go the same speed because of the
Hyper 30. On the
no, because of the sync drive.
Well, that now too, yeah.
That one doesn't have a sync drive, Hyper 30 on it.
No, but it's got lowered mount, which gives you the same increase in speed.
Okay. Yeah, you've gone with a complicated build.
That's the same build as what I've got.
Okay.
And then no armor on the flag.
Okay.
Except my flag is the countermeasure ship.
Ben, have you tried the countermeasure ship in slot 5?
Not yet.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. Except for the fact that, if you do take more damage on chip 5, you can't really swap them around as right because
You still swap them.
Yeah, I've moved them around with different armors on them, and they don't make any difference what you have in there.
All mine are U2 except the 5th ship, which is U3.
Oh, okay.
And there's damage on the 5th ship.
Okay. Oh, right. I didn't realize. Okay.
4 minutes.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to stop sharing screen.
Okay.
But, yeah, I just put the, whatchamacallits on there. The sync drives.
Did they make much difference?
About 4 minutes for the fleet.
Yeah.
So, a little bit, not much.
Good increase in speed.
Yes.
With this build compared to the old build. The old build I had was 85, now it's 96.
Yeah. And that little speed increase let me be a little bit more aggressive in the target. You know.
Yeah.
Where I would have had to turn around and wait for the throwers, I was
It's going to save you a little bit of time.
yes.
But you got to be careful, though. You hit those throwers, you're dead.
Yeah, them throwers hurt
You
bad.
got 3.5 hours to go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, one little mistake, the damage is crazy. You know, a lot of us do make mistakes, especially at the beginning. So that made it very difficult.
Well, it's taken me up to basically just now to learn how to drive these right. Well, right for me. But
Okay.
that was with one boat dedicated to countermeasures, no countermeasure on any other boat.
Okay.
That's why I went with the flag as the countermeasure ship, because you can put an extra countermeasure on and still have, if something goes wrong, they'll all stay together. You know, so you crash, at least the countermeasure ship's going to keep moving.
Yeah.
Because it's got the packs.
Yeah.
I hated that I had to use tokens that I was saving for the new ship. But I used my tokens to put the sprints on.
What new ship?
The
Dirty scoundrel.
yeah,
I'm not even going to build that.
I might not even get enough points to get it, so I might not either.
I got the points to get it, but I'm not going to bother. I'm not even going to get it. Well,
Yeah.
I'll get it last, is what I should say. It's not a priority for me.
Right.
To do one target. That you can pinch them anyway. I mean, we just keep building. I know it's a pain in the ass of retreating, but if you're going to do it, I think there's 3 or 4 you need to pinch. So you got to go in and out, but you can do it by pinching. So you don't need the ship.
So generally, what's everybody's thoughts on the fact that we've had to swap all this stuff around?
I know you want us to be more positive, so I'm probably just going to be.
No, it's not positive. You sort of
I know. Okay. The honest truth is, I'm not happy about it at all.
Well, no one's going to be happy about it.
Yeah, we have to refit, and they don't give us enough information for us to make good decisions at the beginning, and we try to plan this out as best we can.
And then they mislead you.
When we had the camp,
okay, they mislead you because of the VX
the gales and putting the gales in the special offer and all that crap.
I never saw that. To be honest,
I saw it. I don't have a copy of it.
Okay, because whenever I looked at it, I saw no. The versions
maybe I do. Let me look.
The versions I looked at it always had no countermeasures, and I was like,
yeah.
Wow, that's not.
I thought I saw.
They had. Didn't they have 4 of the ones that start with H and 2 of the tyrants? What's the ones that start with H? The weapon.
Henchman.
Yeah, the henchman. It had 4 henchmen and 2 tyrants on it. That's the one I saw. When we had the raid that we used Hydras in, that was pretty much the first time they gave us a strategy guide. That told us which countermeasures to use.
Oh, because that was so fucked up. Because
they told us, this will counter this turret, and this will counter this turret.
Yeah, but the reason is because it didn't match up with the blueprints. The reason they told us that, if you look back,
this one does.
Well, because wait, what were they firing off? It was siege is Hydra is siege, right?
Yeah,
and this is radioactive Well, Hydra is a siege cruiser, and this is
Yeah.
siege as well. So it's radioactive and ballistic, which we don't have any counters to, right?
Yeah.
So then they threw the UAV out there, but that didn't have UAVs in it. It was just all like they just started making stuff up.
Yeah.
No, the radio.
That's why they had to tell us, because it was just not. It wasn't kosher what they were at all. What they were doing.
Well, this isn't kosher either, and they need to explain why we get damage on one chip. You know, I'm so tired of hearing it's priority targeting. Or,
No, it's not priority targeting. It
No.
deals with the mechanics of the game. It deals with the fact that, and they've changed it, that one is always going to be slightly ahead of the others or behind or whatnot. And we've been seeing this forever.
I know we've been seeing it not forever.
Well, we used to see it on the number one ship.
Right.
And then they switched over during the Bat Ray.
Yeah.
So it started becoming the fifth ship at times towards the end of that one. And it stuck as the fifth ship because I guess people didn't want their flagship getting killed all the time. And you could switch out the
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they need to just come out and make a statement about it, explain it, and tell us how to counter it. Because it doesn't seem like putting armor on it helps. Or
that's a whole other issue. How much does the armor actually help as much as it gets presented? As far as let me figure out what slide to look at.
I concede they were showing us some folded ferrite. That's what it was.
That's not a countermeasure, though.
I know. I knew there was something different, though, that we were all talking about. It was an armor, not a countermeasure.
In the Buck Hydra siege raid, if you remember right, they had the missiles that fired the radioactive damage.
Mm-hmm.
Where these do not have the missiles, and you can avoid the radio damage in these like you could the ballistic damage then. They just swapped that around this time, it seems like.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot what it was, but yeah, it was. But some of the missiles, that was such a mess. No reason.
Yeah, but you needed two different countermeasures to shoot down each one, because one was sprints and one was I can't remember,
phalanxes. Yeah.
So, not sprints. Was it sprints or tridents? But back
sprints.
Then it was sprints. Yeah, I couldn't remember if they were out then.
Sprints and tridents are so old now.
Mm.
I mean, what tech level are they?
Like 4.
And they update all the weapons. They update their turrets, but they're not updating our countermeasures.
Oh no, tier 6 is a sprint.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still curious about survivability. I don't know that it's working or working well. Where'd everybody go?
Still here.
Still drinking with a lot of malice. I already finished one, so I guess it's on to number 2.
I'll have to come up with some new words for next week.
Why is Jeff drunk during the show? He picked the wrong words. Yeah, Sapphire is just a fountain of legal wisdom.
Just trying to find I'm looking for the Dragoon or looking for the TLOs to see what they offered. Somewhere I could have sworn.
You mean the build that they are?
Yeah.
I did find it because I did take screenshots of it. I had 3 screenshots in it. It was the armor that was different. Let me see if I can find them.
Yeah, they put folded ferrite on.
Yeah, that's the one you were thinking about, right?
Um,
Not necessarily the folded ferrite, but that was the TLO, I think. It had a ZC1, a ZR1, folded ferrite, a henchman, a tyrant, welded barrel, nuke 3, ballistic resistors, the fast feed magazine, ballistic battery, and high velocity rounds. That was the
um,
that they had.
okay, I know where I saw it. If you go to the scoundrel and you look at it, and it says pairs well with, and it's got a Gale 3.
That's different. Okay.
So if the Gale 3 is not working, if it pairs better with the Sprint than it does the Gale, they need to change the blueprint or whatever you want to call it.
Maybe the Gale works on that. Who knows?
Somebody will have to try it and tell us. Anybody got the scoundrel yet? Has anybody tried it?
No, not even close.
I got to tell you, I don't even plan on getting it because by the time I get these all upgraded and refitted and stuff, I don't have time for it.
Yeah, I plan to get it and I plan to build it and I plan to use it, but I'm having to use my tokens elsewhere.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I don't know. I don't even know.
It'll just mean yet again we'll be locked out of the top set, which kind of
Sucks.
sucks. Yes, that's putting it mildly.
And Hefe's not here and I can take it, so let's just talk raid in general. And not just say that it sucks, but let's say what the problems we're having. And the number one problem that I have with the raid is that there isn't a secondary target that I can use my dragoons on. Like back in the days when we had a 3 raid or 4 raid cycle, either one,
Yep.
you had lower targets. So if your ships weren't quite ready for top tier, you had another choice that was still a viable option.
Yep.
And now we don't have that, but it should be okay because we've got the top tier fleet from last raid that can do these sets. Only they changed the targets. And from what I hear, I haven't tried it, but from what I hear, the silverfish targets are just as bad as the dragoon targets, and it shouldn't be that way.
My silverfish targets were like 3.5 hours each.
Yeah, mine too. For a set, you mean?
Yeah.
Each? No, for one.
Oh no, I'm taking 3.5 for a set.
Well, then you got a better builder driving than I'm
But
doing.
that's still 7 coins for a really low number of points.
And were you able to do a top tier set less than that last raid?
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, so something's wrong there.
And not only that, it's less points.
Yeah, it's more painful and fewer points. So it's sort of like, oh well, if you don't coin the top ones. But I've seen people with the top ones that are taking 7, 8, 9 coins damage in the S set. So even they're not happy. So who's happy?
Are you seeing how you're taking the damage?
You mean
Like,
on the
what's causing the damage difference?
on what, the top target or silverfish targets?
The silverfish target.
I
haven't.
No, there seems to be less. Remember, you had some tricks about hiding behind inlets and things like that. There's just little less opportunity to hide.
Okay.
You have to run through things to get to the hiding spots, and you're already damaged. So, yeah, before I lowered it quite a bit just by using some of the tricks you had with going into the lagoon up in the top left, and none of the torps hit you, and it was great. But this one, there's just no hiding spots.
Yeah, they took a lot of the inlets away.
Yeah, which is nasty considering these are supposed to be our backup targets, as Lady Cat's saying.
Yeah,
I don't mind spending a little more time because I'm now in the B sets, but they're taking as much more damage than the old A sets, and that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. And LEGO's for people that want to get the extra million points. Apex Predator put a video out, and a lot of people are doing it. Is if you've already been able to complete the S set, you get another million for doing the. If you already have the S set in place, you get another million points for hitting the 502, and you got to have a bunch of pinches, and you get 4 pinches, and pinch it's the Pluto cannon, right?
Yep.
Yeah. People go in, they pinch that, and people are able to do it for instant repair on the map. So if you have your pinches built up, small long pinch, the long pinches work on turrets. The quick pinches work on ships. So the long pinches, they take 13 minutes, 8 if you use the speed up at the end for the last 5 minutes. So there's some videos out there, and it actually appears to be, you know, despite the having to go in and out, it's not much more of a it's not more difficult than the other targets.
I will say, even though I hate the damage, I absolutely hate the damage that we're getting. But I like the targets. I like the idea of it. It's the execution I don't like.
I feel like I'm playing Mario Brothers again.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun. I kind of like
Yeah, actually, it is. Despite my deaths.
But one little mistake while you're trying to get down this timing and learn how to drive your ships, and boom, you're out for 6.5 hours.
That's kind of why I like your idea of having a B set of that target type, because then you get to try it out for lower damage. You don't get as many points.
If you hit the 62 and the 64, it's a similar setup, and you can bring your dragoons in there.
But you only get
Well,
points.
You only get half the points, but I was trying to back up what Jeff was saying, that it's sort of a practice environment.
I haven't hit one. Does it have the fire flames and the?
Yep.
So, but you don't lose that much.
How many points do you get?
For the set, you get 75K.
But it does back up what I would actually help what I'm saying. You could practice on those a bit.
Right.
They also lowered the damage on those. It's been posted that they lowered the damage on the 60s. Okay, if they did that, why couldn't I not lower the damage on the rest of them?
Because I like the damage.
Yeah.
There's a word for that, but
coin.
Yeah, that's another word. I wish they would tell us. I know that there are some wonderful, great top players out there. The cream of the crops that have the coin and the time and the ability and can probably do all this so much better than the rest of us. But us middle class people, we all want to succeed too. We just need to figure out how. And they're not helping.
So, okay. Ben, I saw your build because the other question I had was walking into this, which sync drive to get, and did you have ballistic across the board, Ben?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you go with ballistic across the board? I don't have as much experience with the targets as you do, but as opposed to ballistic on 1 and 5 and radioactive on 2, 3, and 4?
Because if the main damage I'm taking is ballistic.
Okay.
So I figured the extra survival.
Okay. But you're probably only taking ballistic on the number 1 and number 5.
Probably, but
yeah, I'm just trying to create a conversation as far as, if you can't claim them all, and if you can claim them all, which ones do you want to put in, put on your ships? And for what reason. So, yeah, if you want to swap them out, that makes sense. Have a, you know, have that ability. I can see that.
Yeah, because the only difference between the ballistic and the radio one is the type of survival you get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like 1 and 5, 2, 3, and 4. That would immediately what would jump to my mind as far as the way to do it, just because it appears that the one in at least the 5 ship at this point is taking all the ballistic damage from the UAVs.
There is one thing though. If you went all ballistic, because I've gone all ballistic as well, that if say you're not going to be repairing after each one or whatever, you don't have the coin and you're just going to do a whole bunch later
swap
on.
them out, yeah.
You're swapping them around, so
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you want to swap them around, then that last ship or whichever ship's taking the most damage might take more damage because now it's not ballistic anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like
And most damage is ballistic. If you look at the stats, most of the time it's ballistic.
plus my OCD when it comes to engines.
Yeah, I put mine at the front of my ship.
Oh, mine has to go in the back.
Yeah.
The engine goes in the back of a ship.
Or on the right side, yeah.
It's not a Volkswagen.
Everything goes in the back of mine, but yeah, whatever. Whole different show.
I feel like a Ferrari.
Yes.
Other mid-engine.
Okay. Is there anything else that we're missing at this point in time that we should talk about?
Sprints rule.
Yeah.
I like AT&T myself.
I don't think any of us are super happy. We're trying. We haven't rage quit or anything yet. Yet being the key word, but
I know a lot of people that has quit.
Yeah. I've talked to a lot of people that, were people that would figure these targets out and whatnot that said that they've quit in the last day or so, just because it's really frustrating the amount of information that we're getting and, sort of the burden or whatever is getting put on us at this point in time by having to refit mid raid, not because we didn't know, because they changed things. So, Lady Cat, you want to go to? You might need a refresh, but I put BP next week up on slide 5. I don't know if you'll need to refresh or not.
apparently so.
Okay.
I'm on the forum at the moment, and someone's asked a question: can you put drones on a lurker? What the hell?
Oh well, I assume the haymaker drones and using that CIC spot, whatever it's called. No, the answer is no, but yeah.
Well, the problem you post in the forums, and how many answers are there out there in the forums?
Does it gain a CIC spot? I don't know.
Yes.
It does get a CIC spot. So the answer is yeah, right?
But will they fire?
No, they won't. Because I'm looking at it now. You can only fit a standard weapon or an underwater weapon.
No. The CIC. He's talking about the drone, the haymaker drone, the CIC slot. CIC, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's not a stupid question.
No. Actually, a good question.
Yeah. I don't know the answer though. So we're back up with that. Okay. We have the Battle Pirates next week. I've read through it. Nothing. New prizes, Forsaken Mission. We'll learn about that on Tuesday. The only interesting part includes information on targets. The first FM briefing, which makes me feel that they're going to make either additions or changes to the existing targets.
Yeah, they're going to put in UAVs.
Yes.
Okay.
Good thing I got sprints.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm slowly doing is putting sprints on my Praetorians. I hope it's the right choice.
Yeah, and then VXP weekend. Yeah, it's a lot of words, not a lot said. The only thing that I got out of this is includes information on targets, which might be a copy and paste from a month earlier. So, which I think it actually is. So yeah, not much here.
Yay,
Okay.
shipwrecks. If you like shipwrecks, you're probably happy.
Well, yeah, until we figure out what's actually in them. So, I don't know. Do we have much else?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna paste the link in case anybody wants to join the after show, and hope everybody has a good time in the raid. And remember to put your sprints on. And see you all on Wednesday, I guess.
See
Good
ya.
night, everybody.
Night, everyone. Good luck in the raid if you're doing it.
If you're doing it, that's